Here's a technique you can use to work on negative thinking patterns as you're developing new relationships so that you don't react in a way that you're not proud of when you get triggered by someone's potentially negative behavior or maybe an explainable behavior. So, in cognitive behavioral therapy, there's a technique often used called a thought log. How this works is you talk about a thought that you have, you go through the columns to develop a healthier way to think about something. So here is a quick way that you yourself can use this technique to retrain your brain to think about things that come up in your friendships before you react to a situation. Best way I know how to explain this is to go through a real life scenario. So say you text your friend and your new friend is usually extremely responsive. Every time you text them, they text right back. But you guys just had a fight yesterday or a disagreement, whatever. And this time you text them and they don't text right back. And you notice like an hour, 2 hours go by. And your automatic thinking pattern is, this person is being punitive. They're trying to punish me by not texting me right back. And you start thinking about the maybe abusive or unhealthy friendships you've had in the past. Your previous friend who was unhealthy used to use this punitive method to try to control you and manipulate you emotionally. So you start, your brain starts going off and you're like, oh no, it's happening again. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to pause. And now we're going to work on this technique. Then you're going to think about some things, or even if it helps you to jot it down in your notes app on your phone, you're going to think about some things that is true about that thought. So maybe you'll say, this person always texts back right away, and right now they're not. You're concerned that this may be a manipulative behavior. That's true. You really do believe that, and you've experienced that in the past. So write down a couple things that are true about the negative thought. Make sure it's factual. Then you're going to write down or think about a couple things that are not true about that thought and make sure it's factual. Like maybe while you're in this pause and you're thinking about the negative thought, you realize, oh yeah, this person told me that they have class today. So maybe they're talking to friends after class, or they're preoccupied because they're in class or just got out of class. So you're going to write down a couple of things that are factual and untrue about that thought. Then I like to throw this in. Think about a couple other possibilities or alternatives that could be going on versus your original negative thought. So the original negative thought is, I'm being punished for the argument we had yesterday. So an alternative is, maybe they're just resting. Maybe they're taking some space and they're trying to figure out the way they want to respond to my texts because of the argument they had yesterday, and they want to be delicate with their response and they needed that time. This is just an example. So then next, you try to form within yourself a more healthy and grounded thought to replace that original negative thought that would have probably had you react. So maybe a more healthy or grounded thought is, I just text my friend. They usually text back right away and they didn't this time. They could be busy, or they could be trying to think about their response so that it's thoughtful. So why we do this is because our thoughts create feelings, and from our feelings drives our actions. So we're trying to retrain ourselves from reacting in negative ways that we're not proud of when we're developing new friendships, because we're reacting off of our triggers and then we're showing up as unhealthy. So now that we have this new thought, we can take the new thought and we can develop a more healthy action to address what's going on that's causing you to feel a little bit uncomfortable, which isn't wrong, because we're looking and we're scanning our new relationships for potential red flags that this person might not be safe for us. So I'm not trying to tell you to ignore these thoughts as they come up, because we've had some bad experiences and we don't want to continue making connections with the wrong people. Now that we have a new, more grounded thought and we feel like we might need to take some form of action because we have an icky feeling inside about something that's going on in the friendship. But Now, our thought is going to give us maybe a different kind of action than getting angry or cutting the person off or determining they're a bad, manipulative, abusive person. Now we might have a more grounded action. So that action might be to just wait it out and see if the person writes us back and how they write us back. Or maybe they don't ever write us back. And so now we have a different action, and we may want to approach that friend with compassion and curiosity to find out what's going on. But the important thing is that as we're developing new friendships, we're doing it in a way that we can respond to things that come up that make us feel proud of who we are, and we have developed our self-esteem, and we know that we're showing up in a healthy way. It may be that this person is being punitive. Maybe they do kind of give you the idea that they just didn't want to text you back because they were still mad at you for yesterday, and whatever the case may be. It may be information that this person is not at a level of health that will work for you. But whatever the case may be, the important thing is that we pause, we didn't react in an unhealthy way, and we respond to the situation as a healthy and mature person. That's it.